Not my hottest take today, if we're being honest. Not my hottest take. Mizkif, the lard baby who almost killed his girlfriend. Not so sure about that guy. I think I may not be a fan, potentially. I don't know. Well, let's see. For those who aren't in the know, a big Twitch streamer by the name of Emiru recently accused another big Twitch streamer by the name of Mizkif of a number of very heinous things. I did a couple live streams covering both sides of the story. I thought I would leave it at that initially. One, because listening through Emiru's side of it was just very uncomfortable, just because it was very intense stuff, very bold claims that were being alleged. That's a lot of trauma to be relitigating over and over again. And then two, because like normally this just kind of feels like, yeah, like we're all pretty much in agreement here. It feels like dogpiling. However, the more I thought about Mizkif's side of the story, the more I was just frustrated with how pernicious his attempts at covering his own tracks were. Also, ever since I did that live stream, there has been a question that has been growing and growing in my mind, which is, how the fuck was Mizkif ever famous? His success is baffling to me. I'm admittedly not really in the Twitch space a lot, so I was aware of these two people's existence. I wasn't really familiar with their content, and then looking at Mizkif's content, now that all this is blowing up, I don't understand. I don't understand how this was ever a thing. So what I wanted to do was just for posterity, go through my takes on this, specifically looking at the claims that Emiru actually made, because she made some very, very bold claims in this. To me, the biggest and most relevant claims that she made against Mizkif were, one, his blackmailing attempts, two, him driving at a suicide speed of 150 miles an hour to kill himself and her, three, him constantly throwing his phone at her in an abusive way and eventually hitting her in the eye, giving her a black eye, and then obviously fourth would be the big one, the SA claim. So if you're sensitive to any of the above, this obviously serves as your warning. Again, the reason I'm talking about this is just, it blows my mind how bad his response is, even to the point of containing self-defeating arguments at times. That being said, let's look into point one.
Is this goodbye? No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because...
Wow, so he is kind of doing like the blackmailing route. What is with YouTubers and blackmailing? I mean, I get that, like, from what he's saying, like, to Iron Man his position, people are attacking his character, so he's going to come back with receipts, but it really is just like a mudslinging contest at this point. I'd blame Jake Doolittle for all of this. I think he unlocked a skill tree in the YouTube sphere.
What are we doing here?
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me. I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. An honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of remote only mode. Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big...
Why does he have read receipts on right now? Someone talking about stroking their shit while he's like, I just feel bad. I'm stroking my shit right now.
They started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others, would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them.
So this is kind of like, so what, right? So I'm really baffled as to why he's taking this route. And he's not even like, here's why I'm telling you this. He's just launching into like, she abuses bunnies. That just like, I'm confused why he's doing that from a tactical perspective. Like, put all morality aside. She launches this thing and she gets in front of that story and says, he said he would like lie about me mistreating my animals, mistreating my bunnies if I ever came out against him. She comes out against him, and then his response is, well, she mistreats her bunnies and abused and neglected her bunnies. I was like, she already got ahead of that story. What are you doing? Like this makes no sense tactically. Also, a second layer of this tactically making no sense. She comes out and says he was physically abusive, assaulted me, and then his response is, well, guys, did you know that she neglected her bunnies? Okay, and like that in no way is a response to an allegation. If I were like on his side, I would be like, why would you fucking do that? I'm speechless. I'm baffled. I mean, I'm not speechless. I've been yapping a lot, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to say. This is like, I'm so confused.
But to no avail.
Why would you do this?
She completely neglected those rabbits. So much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my
I don't understand the text-to-speech thing. Why is it? You can tell it's like fucking him so hard. Like, he's like trying to get through his thing, and then chat's just spamming sound effects.
Once came over and said, and I quote,
is this
if
just like
you
a
ever marry this
humiliation
woman,
ritual?
I'll never forgive you. Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These
Also,
are
what was
small
that?
little mites.
What was that? Like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I want you to know that one of my boys like didn't like her. Oh fucking K. So what?
My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, again, and so what? I love how he's getting like super like self-righteous right now. Like he's like so angry for the rabbits. Brother, if you were angry about the rabbits, fucking, why didn't you say something like 2 years ago? Now, on the bunny situation, I saw a lot of people defending Emiru, saying that rabbit cages get really, really dirty really, really fast. So just the fact that he has a video of a really dirty rabbit cage isn't really proof of anything. Honestly, I don't know. I've never had rabbits. It doesn't really matter to me, though, because my point is, even if Emiru duct tapes rabbits to monster truck reels and goes on joyrides, that still has nothing to do with this situation. If his rabbit offense is 100% true, or even worse than how he's describing it here, that still looks bad on him, because the reality of what's happening here is he's being accused of assault, abuse, and arguably attempted homicide. And his defense is, well, did you know she abuses her bunnies? Even if Emiru is the worst bunny abuser who's ever existed, that is still a vile response to those allegations, because it has nothing to do with those allegations. Some people pointed out, too, they thought he may have been inspired by Collargate, which is famed political streamer Hassan Piker is in hot water right now because people think he shocked his dog. I'm not sure how likely that is to be true. At the very least, it's an interesting coincidence. Point is, it doesn't really matter anyway.
When it comes to Emiru, when she says that I was getting ready to go after her and that I was going to use her rabbits against her, that was never the plan. My plan for myself was very simple. If Emmy were to say something about me, I would say something back. That's it. I never had a plan in my life to go after her or do anything. It was if she ever said anything, I would say something as well. And that's completely understandable. Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen, because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry I don't. Go after me all.
To a certain degree, to me, it feels fair that if you know like someone is out to try and besmirch your name, having something to fire back with, is that necessarily blackmailing? that could be a little bit of a gray area. The thing is, though, that like his dirt being like she abuses bunnies, the complaints against him being a lot more severe, obviously it's not a good look.
I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did. And if you're in
I don't give a
Texas,
fuck, dude.
And you want to say
the fact that he's harping on this rabbit thing so hard is crazy to me. I don't understand where his head's at. This is so psychopathic to me.
Side in 100-degree heat,
and it's not going to work.
No food or water or anything. Most of the time being in cages with no bedding besides poop all over the place. Emmy didn't care. She would sit inside and play League of Legends all day. And what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother. And I couldn't see myself marrying her.
It was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident.
She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my...
I don't think she alleged that it was during fights. She didn't say it was during fights. From my memory, all she said was like, he did it. She repeatedly brought up that it scared her, and he kept doing it. Maybe he thought it was funny or something. It doesn't like that doesn't really change stuff.
I will throw you and show you an example, chat.
All right, let's see it.
I'm brushing my teeth.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Look at me.
All right. I can't see you.
I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed.
Was she? So where was she? Wait, hold on.
That's it. And when she,
was she on the bed though? I mean, it's really neither here nor there. Like, she repeatedly told him to stop doing this. He's skimming over stuff. He needs to say, like, was it in her direction ever? Because that's what she's saying. I understand, like, tossing your phone across the room. I'm pretty, like, abusive to my phone. Like, I will throw this thing around. I've always just kind of been that way with phones. I don't, like, really care about cracks and stuff like that. But that's not really, like, the issue. The issue was, like, were you throwing it in her direction with, like, a velocity that was reasonable for her to be concerned about?
I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brush my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I did feel a lot of stress.
So you did throw it at her.
Time.
Like, he's admitting that she got bruises from it. Wait, so he's just lying, right? He just, like, gave the lie to his own statement because he said he never hit her, and then now he's saying she got bruises from it. You understand what I'm saying? Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything there? I don't see how that's not like him immediately disproving the thing he said 30 seconds ago. So the benefit of the doubt take for Mizkif here would be that he did throw the phone in her direction a lot of times, but his statement is technically true because he was throwing his phone haphazardly all the time, and occasionally it would hit her, but he was never throwing it at her because he was never throwing it with the intention of hitting her. Just didn't care if she happened to be in the path. Okay, still not great, especially given the fact that she repeatedly told him to stop doing that. What's also really concerning to me is that he admits she did get hit with it and was bruised by it at one point, but he completely skims over the allegation that she got a black eye, which is a degree of magnitude worse than a bruise. It's a lot easier to accidentally hit somebody with something you threw across the room and bruise them in the leg. It's much more of a likely sign of blatant disregard for the safety of your girlfriend to have hit her in the eyeball with your phone as opposed to like the thigh or something. And that's the best case scenario. That's the scenario in which he wasn't doing it on purpose. He not once mentions the claim that she got a black eye from this. He says she got a bruise, which is very weird. When people skim over really important details like that, obviously that makes me suspicious. If I had been accused of giving a girlfriend a black eye, I would come out, the first thing I would say is absolutely did not give that woman a black eye. That'd be the first thing I would say. That detail of the allegation never crosses his mouth.
Fights were getting more aggressive and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or...
Come on. What are we doing? Oh, I literally just did the thing. I swear that was not even intentional. The spirit of Jake Doolittle just inhabited me there, like completely organically.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? She became violent. She threw plushies and pillows at me. Holy shit, dude. Thoughts and prayers. Like, I'm glad that you came out the other end of that.
He was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video. And Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
So he just viewed her as a pet, is what she's saying. Like, she was like a hamster to him. Imagine killing your girlfriend because you were upset that Mr. Beast didn't invite you to 2 million Orbeez in a pool. It's evil, it's bad, if true. But above all, it's cringe. I think that's the vibe I'm getting here the most.
Did you really drive 150 miles an hour? I'm going to say this very clear.
There we go. All right.
If you know me in Austin, Texas, I drive fast everywhere. I drive fast literally everywhere.
That is such... Okay. I don't have high hopes for the end of this sentence. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We're talking 150 miles per hour. That's not driving fast. That's in a different category on its own. That's basically flying.
I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas, where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport, and she was in her blue Corvette, and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway.
Oh, I was going to say
she
speeds?
and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying.
She drove fast one time is the defense. Anytime someone is guilty, I feel like you see every single thing that's levied against them, they find something that's objectively not as bad, but in a similar category, and trump it up to being the same thing and throw it back at the accuser, right? So he got accused of throwing his phone and giving her a black eye by throwing his phone at her repeatedly and giving her bruises. And then he's like, she got violent with me. She threw plushies and pillows. And then he's accused of driving a suicide drive is what it is. Unless if you're literally in the middle of the desert, 150 miles an hour is basically a suicide attempt and a homicide attempt if your girlfriend is in the car. And then he's like, she broke the speed limit one time. I don't remember how fast she was going, but it felt pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Obviously that's not the same thing. And if it were the same thing, if it were anywhere close to 150 miles an hour, he wouldn't be saying I don't remember exactly how fast it was.
There was a short period in October where we had broken up. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. When this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
We broke up for about a month. then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And
Nice.
then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But
Oh, wow. You're apologizing just now. We don't know these people's specific headspaces in that instance. So there is like a benefit of the doubt interpretation of his end of this situation. And then there's obviously a worst case scenario interpretation, right? And I'm not saying it's one or the other. The benefit of the doubt situation is that he's having a sudden reconnection with someone who he has been intimate with a lot already. You know, they kiss. She said the kissing was consensual, although she says she allowed him to kiss her. So it sounds like that wasn't necessarily something she was into, but she was just in such an emotional state. It was just like kind of happening. And then he like progressed things. So a benefit of the doubt situation to me would be like he interpreted how things were going of her giving like normal nonverbal cues. I'm not at all saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what you would say if you were trying to like say the best case scenario. The fact that it's like what 2 years later and us watching this right now is him apologizing for this situation for the first time ever kind of undermines any chance of this like being the good faith interpretation.
we got back together.
Not good faith interpretation, but the best case scenario interpretation on his end. I think what people will often do when they've done something really bad is kind of play on your shame. They will walk away from the situation and then never bring it up again, act like everything's normal, and hope that it's too embarrassing of a thing for you to ever address. And then they'll hope you just memory hole it. And if enough time passes, they can successfully gaslight you on it. That's happened to me before, not in a situation nearly as serious as this, like SA or anything, but just situations in which someone did something truly insidious, and then we don't talk about it for a while. It eventually comes up for whatever reason, and they just flat out deny it. I know they're lying. They know they're lying. But it doesn't matter because at that point, there's enough ambiguity that they can just kind of manipulate reality. And it's a very trippy thing because you kind of have no recourse against that. Now, I don't know exactly what happened in this particular situation in Emiru's head. I don't know where her head was at. I don't know where his head was at. I'm just saying this doesn't look good on his part. His behavior after these events and the way he relates these events are very concerning to me. Now, there was more stuff laid out in these allegations, mostly in regards to him being generally controlling or slamming doors or being just very bizarrely fixated with Emiru's streaming numbers, for instance, and being nasty and retaliatory because he was jealous of her doing better than him. All that stuff is valid as well, but I wanted to kind of keep this to like what in my view were like the biggest, most important points to address. These I feel like were the most inflammatory, bold allegations, and his response to every single one of them is, to me, not nearly robust enough. Often when there's allegations like this, people kind of split down the middle sometimes. It takes a while for people to stop defending people. This hasn't really seemed to be the case from what I've seen in this situation, which is good. Funnily enough, that is probably a referendum on the fact that Mizkif is just not that interesting or funny of a guy, because sad as it is, if he was cranking out really entertaining content, there'd be a lot more people, a lot more reticent to take her side on stuff, which is fucked up, but that's the way human brains work. If we get a lot of value from a particular person, we're going to be very hesitant to let that image of them go. But what's so beautiful about seeing that play out in this situation is it's just proof that not only is this guy, allegedly quite terrible, he also is just like not funny at all, which is funny. Also, I'm just now becoming aware in real time that Mizkif dated Mayahika and Emiru. That's wild. You're telling me that now for the first time. That's the real mystery here. I'm not trying to like body shame or anything. I don't know. That's curious to me. Which also, sorry, not to harp on like how did this cave troll date two very beautiful women, you know, but from what we're alleging from this stream, per Emiru's testimony, he also is like a terrible person and incredibly like needy and codependent and controlling. So what is the appeal? I'm getting confused. All right, I'm getting lost in the narrative a little bit here. He looks like this, and I'm not saying he's an ugly guy. I'm not saying he's bad looking at all. I'm just saying he looks like this, and she looks like this. And, you know, Maya Higa, you know, also very attractive young woman. And I'm hearing he's also terrible to be around. He was funny. Someone's saying he had to be real. He was really funny. You know, the funny buff. But I've never once seen a clip of that guy being funny. I've never once seen a Mizkif clip where I laughed. And you know how like social media is, like all these top streamers, like you get force fed, you know, their clips. So I've been force fed a decent amount of Mizkif clips. I've never laughed at one. Never laughed at a single one. Not trying to shame anybody who has laughed at Mizkif, really, but you shouldn't have if you did. I'm going to Google Mizkif funniest clips compilation. This is the first result for Mizkif funniest moments, okay?
Let's do it. Let's find out once and for all. Let's settle this question. Let's go ahead. Let's settle it once and for all. Let's figure it out. Go ahead.
Destiny, do you love black people?
I love black people.
Sorry, my
Shut up.
headphone thing popped out. Was that
Excuse
funny?
me.
Let me know.
Don't talk to me like that, Matthew. Sorry, Maya. No, it's not funny. Every time you do it, it bothers me. It's just me kidding around, Maya. What's...
I don't understand. Wait, I don't understand. Did he find like a genie's lamp or something and was like, yeah, my first wish is to date a beautiful Asian woman. My second wish is to date another beautiful Asian woman. And my third wish is to get canceled for assault.
Not funny to me. I don't think it's funny. I don't know why you say it to me all the time. Because it's funny, Maya. It's just me trolling. I don't even realize I say it. Well, start paying attention to what you have to say because it's getting really annoying that you do this all the time.
The fact that we've had this conversation that many times and somehow it's still not serious enough.
This is first result for Mizkif best moments. This is Mizkif. This is the creme de la creme of Mizkifism.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Oh, by the way, we need
I would 100% let you stay
we need
here.
we need to do laundry.
Yeah,
You can use my house.
We just
Cool.
got
No, okay.
Well, we gotta
What did you
wash-
just say?
You can use the laundry room.
You said our laundry room.
Your laundry room is
Let's
like
get
the
back to what
size
Erob
of-
just said. My laundry room.
Are all his funniest moments just being an asshole to his girlfriend at the time? I'm noticing a pattern.
You can use our laundry room.
Who paid for the house? Who paid for the laundromat?
$1,000? Hold on.
Wait, you pay rent?
I pay you $1,000.
You make your girl pay rent.
Why the fuck are you paying rent?
Hold on.
Because
I'm a minute and 38 seconds into his best moments compilation, and it's him dogging the fuck out of his, at the time, girlfriend.
everyone else has to equal rights.
I mean, this guy on the right seems to be loving this. I don't know why. This to me is like a situation that you laugh at because you don't know what else to do. This to me feels uncomfortable. Like I've been in situations where people, like couples I'm friends with, kind of banter like this, and it's not fun. Like it's not a fun thing. Okay, so that was Mizkif best moments. Good to know.